What's up, y'all? Swanky Potato here. I think this is episode 11, which I was surprised we got through 10 episodes when I started this whole YouTube thing. Thank you all. You. Anyway, last episode we were working on this. We got all the frog lights laid. We got this all dug out. Not in that order. And then we started working on glass. And we made the squid farm. So we got all the ink we need. Just maybe need a little more AFK time over there, but that's easy. You can see behind me how much more glass we need. So we need 2 more layers of this. That'll get us all the way up. And even with the tunnels over here, it'll actually put us half a block higher. It'll be right here. But I'm hoping to get a little bit of fog effect from it. That would be really nice. And we might have to dig out 1 more layer on the walls to put some walls that's not just netherrack in here. But I'm sure you can imagine the problem I'm running into now is not the ink. We're good on ink. But if we come over here and you look at my coordinates in the top left corner, you'll see we are about 120 by 140. And the tunnels are at 0 in those directions. The hallway is 9 wide. So we need something like 1800 glass, which that's not a huge problem. I mean, that's just a bunch of sand. But the problem is going to be smelting it all. So that's what we're going to work on today. But before we just go build a smelter, I was thinking we should do some math on stream. Great idea, right? I don't know how many people are going to actually care about this, but I thought a little trip into my mind why I'm doing what I'm doing would maybe be interesting. So I'm going to cut over to a board that kind of explains what we're doing, why we're doing it. All right, y'all, before we cut over to that, I kind of want to give a little basis to where some of the numbers in these calculations are going to come from. So I figured we need to look at a very basic smelter real quick and kind of figure out what's going on. So you have some sort of chest to collect stuff. Generally, you have maybe a line of hoppers going into it. You'll have some furnaces, some chests on top, and some chests going in the side. So these feed it fuel, these feed it items to smelt, and these take the items out and spit them in here. So some interesting numbers that we need to know are a regular furnace will smelt an item in 10 seconds. So it's 10 seconds per item. And a hopper, a single hopper can move items in this orientation. When they're put like this, a single hopper can move items at a rate of 2.5 items per second. So that means this one plus this one, you know, items coming in from here to here and items going here to here, all of these combined going out there have to add up or cannot exceed 2.5 items per second. So yeah, I want to keep those in mind while we go look at our calculations. All right, y'all. So as we were talking about a second ago, furnaces cook items at 10 seconds per item. Hoppers move items at 2.5 items per second. We can get these both in items per second by taking the inverse of 10, and we get 0.1 items per second, 2.5 items per second. If you're quick at math, you can see this already, but let's go over here and explain it for a second. See my beautiful artwork. So this is what I showed before. We've got hoppers and furnaces. One hopper can smelt 0.1 items in 1 second, which would output 0.1 items in 1 second. Now, if we have 2 of them going in, this one feeds here, which then feeds here. So actually this one's fine. This one's just moving 0.1, but this one actually ends up moving 0.2 items per second. Similarly, when we add a third one, this one's moving 0.1 to here, which is moving 0.1 here and here, so 0.2. And this one's getting 0.2 plus 0.1, moving 0.3. So we need to get this up to 2.5 items per second if we want to max out this final hopper, pushing into a shulker or chest or whatever. So if we have 25 furnaces, all moving 0.1 items, we end up with 2.5 items per second. Like I said before, that math checks out pretty quick. So 25 furnaces, I'm just going to round up, which is a weird thing to round to, but a shulker has 27 stacks per shulker. So we'll just use 27. I mean, we'll have a little bit of a choke point on that last furnace since it can only move, 2.5 items per second, but it'll be fine. But let's look at what that speed is. So 27 stacks in a shulker, 64 items in a stack. If we multiply those, stacks cancel. We end up with items per shulker, which is 1,728 items per shulker. Let's bring that down. Divide that by 2.5 items per second. And it gets confusing when you're trying to cancel out units when you divide. So I like to remember that dividing is just multiplying by the inverse. So 1 over 2.5 is just 0.4. And then you flip these terms. Instead of items per second, we get seconds per item. Again, we can cancel items. We got one on top, one on bottom. So our answer here will be in seconds per shulker, which is 691.2 seconds per shulker, which dividing by 60 gets us 11.52 minutes per shulker. That is how fast a single hopper can move items. So again, even though we have 27 hoppers, it's not going to matter. We can only move at this maximum speed. We'll probably be done smelting in something... 1 second. We'll actually be done smelting using 27 furnaces in about 10.7 minutes if we're doing a full shulker down 27 furnaces, but it won't be able to be moved into, using a single hopper until 11.5 minutes. Now, again, for every 27 or every 25 really furnaces you use, you can get this. So yeah, I'll show you what I mean after we hop back into the game. I'll bring you all right back. All right, now with those numbers in mind, what I want to do is dig out this area into this hill. We're gonna have to do a little terraforming too. I marked out a chunk here. So between this log and that log is 16 blocks. So that's one chunk. And then along this edge is a chunk too. So I'm hoping I can dig back in there. As I explained before, I don't think we're gonna try to make this super compact and fit it in one chunk. There will be an on-off switch, so I'm not worried about losing my mine carts because of chunk border issues like Bedrock has. I think we're just gonna make these very long straight shots, and so they're gonna kind of be pretty ugly and hard to hide. So that's when you just put stuff underground. That's the best the best way to hide them. Just dig a hole. So anyway, we're gonna do that on stream. Again, if you want, you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/theswankypotato, or join the Discord. That's actually where I'm planning to do most of this digging. Just hanging out, chatting. I'm accidentally down here, but that's okay because I think it opens up over here now. Oh, hello. Hello, there's a skeleton. Ah, close up. Whoa. Anyway, we survived. That's where I'm planning to do most of this. Every Thursday night in the Discord. I stream, we chat, voice chat. It's a little more laid back than Twitch. And it's all done here exclusively on this world. A lot of times on Twitch I stream from other worlds, so if you want to hang out while I'm working on this world, join the Discord. Links below. Anyway, I'll bring y'all back and we'll see how far I got digging this area and building some smelters. Alright y'all, we're back. We did a lot of work on stream, and obviously this beacon's in the way. We got a little like sort of mine entrance. I like it. Looks pretty cool. And then down here, I've already laid out the grooves to put these furnaces in place. I got 27 like I had described. Let's actually go through and build one of these real quick. I think it's actually more than 27 blocks long. But you know, some of that's just making sure we have room for everything else. 27. Oh, I'm gonna need more. No, I have it right here. Which way did I face these? I faced them in. Not that. And I lost it. Get all these. They actually end right here. And the rest of this is just to feed it in, so I can put a shulker box right there, or a chest. What I may end up doing is bringing this over. Something like, oops, something like that. So if I want to, I can put a shulker here and here, and they're just both really close. Or I could quickly throw in another hopper into this one shulker and take that 11.52 and basically make it 5.75 minutes. So we could get a shulker done in 5 minutes. Other than that, it is all just getting these other hoppers in place, getting rails on top of them, which, you know, takes a minute. It takes a lot of iron, but that's why we built the iron farm, which is working great. Grab some more hoppers real quick. Drop all these. How many rails? I do not have enough rails. So we'll have to go make some more rails and come back. But basically, I'll show you over here. I just put powered rails the whole way. You probably don't need them, but not as many at least. You need some, but not the whole way down. But the more you can use, the more consistent you'll get drops. You know, one drop in each hopper. Make sure you come out 2 before you bounce back. That'll get it slowed down and back up to speed before you drop any other items in here. If you only have one, like if this was a block, not a, oh, let's just do it real quick. If you had it like this, it would kind of stall here and drop 2, 3, maybe even 4 items in this hopper before going back to dropping 1. So to make sure you get even distribution, you want to make sure you go about 2. And sometimes if you're not careful when you're building this, you can actually end up with these sort of branching to each other. And if that happens, you just want to make sure you come out a little further, build it out a little more, and then place those on top. I spaced these out so that this redstone block powers all the way down. I don't need any switches or anything back here, which is what I had originally saved this little gap for. However, at the front, you can see I've got a non-powered rail, just a regular rail right here with a gap and a switch here. So when I turn it on, they take off. And as long as you have a powered rail here and a powered rail here, it'll still get back up to speed quick enough to not drop 2 items in there. And having that gap here also lets you stop it right up against this when it comes back, so that when you turn it on, it'll go. If you had a gap plus 2 powered rails, it could stop on the first one and not touch the wall, which means it'll never take back off. So that's all this. All I got to do now is put powered rails on here. As far as fuel goes, obviously we took the easy route and just went with buckets of lava. And let me bring y'all back in just a second, and I'll show y'all what we did here. All right, y'all, we're back, and as you can see, I kind of just mirrored this. I realized I didn't really explain how I did these redstone, where I placed them, but basically I just sort of came in here. I came sort of in the middle and placed one, and I came over here and saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. So then I came 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Placed that one, and you can see it's got this one lit up. Similarly, came over this way, threw one down where they weren't lit up. And I can see that there's 2 that are not lit over here. So I came 2 over, placed one, that turned them on. So now I can get rid of this one, which I think just went into a hopper maybe. No, I had 21 in my inventory beforehand, didn't I? Yeah, no, we're good. And then just double check real quick that everything in the middle's lit up, and it is. So that's how I decided where to place those. So now, if we come over here, let's just dump a bunch of this junk that we don't need right now. There we go. And let's drop about a shulker's worth of lava. Place it in here. We can go ahead and send that off. Should only need 1 trip, since there's 27 furnaces, 27 hoppers. And there should be none in these hoppers. They all went in the furnace. Really, as long as this first one has 1 and this last one has 1, we should be good. All right, y'all, we're back. Everything's working now. Nothing happened. I didn't mess up on basic counting. Oh, that was embarrassing. Real quick, y'all, on the way to the sand mines, the desert. Yeah, the desert. I wanted to swing by over here and show y'all some members of the community have also built this. Binja the Ninja built a very similar furnace array to me. His is a little shorter, but probably does what he needs just fine. Did not mean to launch that. His has chests on it to auto fill up the hopper while it runs back and forth. His has only a little bit of redstone rail, powered rail. But yeah, they can be as little or as big as you want them to be. That's all we did really was take this exact same design and make it longer. And then we have Russell, who just had to do something mega crazy and big. And he has this crazy furnace array. So he can do whatever. Well, did not mean to do that. It's empty anyway. He can do pretty much, I don't even know what speed this goes. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 26, 52. So he's got a 52 on one half, which would be 104 altogether. Yeah, it's huge. In order to keep up with that hopper speed, what he's doing is powering droppers. So he only has, what did we say? Like 13 hoppers in a chain. And they're actually pulling double speed, which they probably don't need to be honest. They're probably pulling that speed to try to keep up with the droppers, but could probably simplify this a lot. If you're watching, Russell, you could probably simplify this a lot, but by just having the droppers up one. I don't know if that would mess with the observer clock he's got going on. Yeah, he then powers these with an observer clock, which goes super fast. Drops these into a water stream because that's faster than moving them with hoppers. They come up this bubble column, come over here, and double speed go into chests. So they can be super complex, super easy. Like I've said before, I like to take, sort of the maximum amount of, how would I word that? I like to take simplicity and make it as good as I can while keeping it simple. All right, y'all, we're back. We got some sand. We got it preloaded. Chest full here, chest full here. And I think I'm gonna start a timer and just sort of try to see how long this takes. Okay, y'all, actually, I'm bringing y'all back a little early because I want to show you something I noticed, which is kind of what I was describing earlier. I pop some of these out so we can see under here. We can see that when we get further back in this chain, we really, just one item at a time, going through just fine. There's probably about 22 hoppers over there. No problem. Even right here, 23, 24, we're starting to get a little bit of backlog. Probably just a little bit of lag caused one item there, and there it caught right back up already. This would be 25 right here. Again, a little bit of backlog. Should clear itself out, or yeah, right there it's kind of clearing out. If it's one item of backlog, and we're almost a third of the way through a shulker, that's nothing to worry about. But we move up here and we start seeing actual backlog happening. And again, this is 25, which we said 25 hoppers or 25 furnaces equals the hopper speed. And we can see that here, and we can see how once we get to 26, we're starting to backlog. This is basically telling me that this furnace has smelted 20 items. Well, they've all smelted 20 items, but these have managed to successfully clear them. And this one is just creating a backlog here. And this one should have about the same amount. Yep, 21, 22. So, yeah, they're getting held up coming through here, which I didn't think was going to be a problem, but I didn't account for these buckets. Not getting these buckets back right away does seem like it could be problematic, simply because if we end up getting everything through here and then let's say we get this full of glass to here, and then we end up with a couple buckets right here, and we walked away to do something and we come back, when we grab these, we actually then have to wait for another stack of items to come through, which is, you know, something like 20, 30 extra seconds. Not the end of the world, but I'm kind of considering removing 2 furnaces from this. I know I've redesigned this thing like 3 times now on this video alone. But getting it down where it truly is 25 items with no backlog, I think will be beneficial. Yeah, we're not dealing with even 1 stack per item or per hopper furnace. That's the word I'm looking for. But the 2 stacks that are in here will just get dispersed among all those, which would be 128 over 25. It's an extra 5 items per hopper, or sorry, per furnace, plus the 64. So there would be 69 and some change. A couple of them would have 70, the rest would have 69 items in them, and 1 bucket of lava will give us 100 items smelted. So it really wouldn't be that big of a deal. I think it would be just fine. We would still have the same speed. In fact, well, no, we would still have the same speed. And on the off chance that we ended up with a random odd bucket in here, well, let me rephrase that. We should never end up with a random odd bucket in here. They should all clear within the first 10 seconds before the first glass starts coming through. So yeah, we'll let this finish smelting. I still got the timer running, and we'll probably trim this down by a couple blocks. We'll still have extra lava. I'm fine with extra lava. It just means that it'll be nice and full before we need it. So I'm good with that. Anyway, I'll bring y'all back again. All right, y'all, we're back, and we are almost done with a full stack right here. Oh, whoa, something happened there. We're 3 short. Weird. We did get a full stack there. 11 minutes, 52 seconds. But anyway, we now know that we were pretty close. 11.52 again, or 11 minutes and 52 seconds. We said it was going to be 11.52, which would have been 11 minutes and 31 seconds. So if that's 20 extra seconds. It takes 10 to start the hopper. You know, the hopper doesn't start moving items until the furnace smelts the first item. So there's 10 seconds for that, and another 10 seconds for me to click this, run over here, click this, and to check this before I click start and stop. So our math was pretty much dead on. So that's cool. I'm gonna go convert all this into gray stained glass and finish the floor of the nether tunnel and let y'all see what that looks like. And with that, we'll probably wrap it up. So I'll bring y'all back one last time for this episode. What's up, y'all? Sorry for that abrupt cutscene there. I actually recorded that whole episode like maybe a month and a half ago, and then Thanksgiving happened and finals week at school happened, and I'm just now getting around to editing it. But I've been live on Twitch this whole time. We did do a lot of work on the nether tunnels, but this episode's already pretty long, so this is where we're going to end it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Catch me on Twitch if you want to see progress between episodes. And next episode, I'll show you what we've been working on in the nether tunnels. And hopefully, probably doing some more work on those docks behind me. I think I said a few episodes ago I was going to build a crane, and I haven't not going to talk about that right now. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.